Alrighty, guys, another episode of Shellanomics. We are back with our good friend TMNT Dare Talk, who just celebrated his 500th podcast episode. Today, guys, we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going into the Michael Bay movies. There were two of them. Should there have been a third? What were your thoughts? Before we get started, we'd like you to subscribe to our Spotify channel, YouTube, and Twitch, because I'm going to have a poll before we even deep dive into these movies really quick, just to give our little thoughts. What was your thoughts with Donatello? Do you like him with the glasses or without? Because that's the poll I'm going to put on my social media after we do this podcast. Were you cool with the Donnie glasses in here? This is the first time I've seen him with them.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of a cliche. I could live without them, but it's a cliche. The nerd has to have the glasses, the tech wizard, the smart one with the glasses. Yeah, it has to be. I mean, if you look at Donatello in the 2014 movie, you see he has all the stuff on him, all these gadgets, and it was a bit much. They toned it down in the second one. It was better there, but I could have lived without the glasses, but I think it was fine. It was fine.
I agree. You could have just had contacts like most people nowadays. Oh gosh. So here we are, folks. Would you like to give us a little background on how this Michael Bay movie came together? Because I do remember Alien Talk, and that caused a huge outcry from us old school Turtle fans, if you remember that part.
Oh boy, the whole production of the first movie, the 2014 movie, they could make a documentary about it because there's so much stuff. There was so much stuff in the background. There was way back they leaked the original book, the original script, on the internet, and it was completely different story. The turtles were aliens. Shredder was the head of this military organization who also turned out to be an alien. He was called Colonel Shredder, and there was a big focus on Casey, if I remember correctly. And like in the end, the turtles they went out into the world to find other turtle aliens from their home planet. It was so wild and it was so crazy. And honestly, I'm happy for the movie that we got, if you know what we could have gotten back then, because this would not have been the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we know. This would have been a completely different thing. I mean, yeah, it's so weird. And yeah, as you said, that was the biggest outcry because back then Michael Bay came out, who was the producer, not the director, the producer of the movies. And he came out and said, yeah, these turtles are of alien origin and something like this. And people went wild. And then the other thing was that Eric Sachs, who is in the movie, was originally supposed to be Shredder. But the same thing, people went crazy for it. They said no, this is not how it should be. And so they also changed it. They had some reshoots, and Shredder and Eric Sachs were two different people, and so much was going on back in the background there. And you can see it in a bit in the movie. You see, yeah, some reshoots here and there, like in some recuts, and it would have been a totally different movie. It's really, really wild.
Yeah, I agree all the way. I mean, when you watch the movie, because we'll give you guys a quick little synopsis and the plot, just if you haven't seen this yet, just because a lot of old school fans were really just put off by this as a whole. I don't mind them that much. I'm like you. I'm still kind of happy it's Turtles. They're still getting publicity, and they're still coming around. And you can always go back to the original cartoon and the 2003 show and the original movies and comics if you need to get your good turtle fix. But when you watch this exactly, because it looks like Eric Sachs is supposed to be the Shredder, and it would have made more sense almost if they kept that instead of reshooting everything, because the Shredder in this movie didn't really get any character development. I also feel Karai didn't get much. But if you'd like to, I guess before we deep dive, they did a good job promoting this movie. Did you have, out in Germany, did you guys get the soda pop beverage Crush with the Ninja Turtles out there?
No, no,
Oh,
not
okay.
really.
Okay.
Unfortunately, would have liked them. We got merchandise. We got the action figures and this stuff. Yeah, we got this. Um, One more thing from my side, like little
Yeah,
detour here about the
sure.
movie, is that I was actually, and that was a big fan moment for me. I was actually invited to the uh, Germany premiere in Berlin back then of the movie,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it was crazy. It was great. They had like this old factory that they like designed to look like the turtle sewer. They had all these pictures on the walls. We got pizza, we got drinks, um, we got Megan Fox and Will Arnett on the stage
Whoa.
talking about the movie. Some of the producers were there, not Michael Bay, but the others. And we got the premiere of the movie. And so this is, I've got like this special place for the movie in my heart because I was there back then. We even got action figures as presents, as gifts. Uh, as a guest of the premiere. It was wild, it was crazy, it was this was really cool. This was really cool. um Unfortunately, we were told that we would get a meet and greet with Will Arnett and Megan Fox, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. But hey, anyway, it was really cool to be at the premiere of the Turtles movie. And yeah, I enjoyed it. This is like just a little personal experience from my side here.
Oh my gosh. What's funny is, so out here they had the it's in the movie too, a little reference to the Orange Crush soda drink, and this is when people were
Mm.
starting to do good on eBay. Like people were actually selling those soda pop cans on eBay for a good chunk of change. You could have gotten the 12 pack. They all had different flavors. I think if anybody knows, you can comment down below in our podcast after it's up on the other social media sites. But I want to say Michelangelo was orange. I think April was pineapple. So they had the 12 packs, they had the cans, and they had the 2 liter bottles. And it was funny because all my buddies in Facebook groups were like, oh man, I need the April O'Neil, I need the Raphael. When's it going to come out here? The guy only keeps stocking the Leonardo one. So it was just cool just for a collector's spot there. And fun fact too is I actually went to a premiere too. This was my first ever movie premiere in Chicago and Illinois. What they would do is a friend showed me this. They would send you links. You know, back when there was really not much Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu videos being released, it was mostly movies. So at the time, they said, "Hey, if you want to come down, just apply and you can go." And it was just as cool as yours. I actually got interviewed by somebody there just talking about the premiere, which was pretty
Cool.
wild. I got not action figures, but I got do you ever have the foam fingers like at sporting events, like either football games or baseball
Oh yeah,
games?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got that somewhere. They gave me a free headband. I'll have to put that picture up on Instagram so you can see it and check it out. Cause I was happy for the movie. I think me and you getting all this free stuff probably made the movie a lot more enjoyable to watch our first time, because it's like, how can you be a sour puss if you're getting all this cool extra footage? And that's really cool. You got to meet Megan Fox and Will Arnett. But yeah, here we are. Here's the movie. Christian, if you'd like to take it away and just set a quick little subplot of everything for us, I'd appreciate it. You don't have to deep dive into it too much, but just a quick little synopsis to go down memory lane here.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
All right.
Short
Yeah.
little synopsis.
Yeah.
So we how does it start? How does the movie start? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a weird
yeah,
movie.
the movie starts actually with April O'Neil, played by Megan Fox, and there are some guys in the city, the Foot Clan, and they are doing evil stuff as they usually do. And Megan Fox is working for Channel Six, April O'Neil. So she tries to find out what's happening there, and so she runs into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who are fighting the Foot Clan. And she finds out that her father worked together with Eric Sachs, who's this big guy in the background. Has this tech firm. It's like, yeah, a big group. And in their laboratory, they were experimenting with some mutagen, and that created the turtles. So she knew the turtles back then as little turtles, and so she meets them again, and So, and in the background behind Eric Sachs is also this mysterious guy called the Shredder, who's got this big armor, this big techno style armor,
Like a transformer.
and yeah, there's some similarities there. And they attack the turtles' lair. Splinter gets hurt. All the turtles except for Raphael get caught. So April, Raph, and Vern Fenwick, played by Will Arnett, they together rescue the turtles, and then they go back to New York because the Shredder and Eric Sachs, they want to release a toxin through the air, like some that would make people sick, and through the mutagen they can heal people. So they want to create this poison, but also sell the cure. And the turtles have this big fight with the Shredder to stop him. And in the end, well, Shredder is defeated, Splinter is rescued, he's saved with a mutagen, and yep, that's pretty much it.
Yep, and then there's just some wacky stuff where they go after Splinter, and yeah, it gets weird. So now that we guys got the basic background, what were your thoughts with the look of these turtles? How they were almost like big steroids, bullets didn't hurt them.
Yeah, these are some
They said
how
they
should I
were,
put it? They are not my favorite designs, but I mean, because they're so big and so strong, this is something that I'm like, I'm not sure about it. I'm still not sure about it because, like, yeah, they're pretty much bulletproof. They can, like, they're super strong. This is really unusual. It's a new interpretation. Okay, but it's kind of weird. But one thing I gotta say is that, in my opinion, they got the characters of the turtles right. So I had no problem with the characterization of the turtles in this movie because they were pretty much the turtles: Leo the leader, Raph the hothead, and so on and so forth. And I was happy with that. But yeah, the designs, you can argue about it. But well, it's okay. And as I said, they toned it down in the second movie a little bit, so it got better. It got better.
yeah, we'll be talking to that second movie just around the corner because, like we say, it's not that there's not much to talk about. It's just where do you go from here? Because Karai was in this movie. I thought the actress did a good job. She was cute, she was okay, but just really not much character development there. Whoopi Goldberg, who was a famous American actress, was in this movie and was, I guess, like a woman, Bern Thompson, and
Yeah.
the plots there didn't make sense with how Megan Fox was trying to go about it. Megan Fox was playing April. I didn't understand that part at all. Mikey hitting on April, weird. I don't know why it doesn't work for me here, but you remember you're familiar with the 2012 series where in the first season Donnie's crushing on April. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe it was different because maybe Donnie was more warm and sincere, and Mike was kind of a creepy kind of I don't know, almost like a just hitting on her. It just didn't seem like he was like a 1950s or 60s. It didn't mesh with me at all. What else can we talk about this movie? How did you like that Eric Sachs character? Do you think the movie? I think we both say it would have been horrible if they had the aliens thing because why even go for the Ninja Turtle franchise? Right, they're ninjas. I mean, I think they were just gonna call it Turtles then.
Yeah, I mean, they original even wanted to call the movie just Ninja Turtles,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, people weren't happy about that, so they called it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So they're back to being mutants, not aliens or anything. And yeah, Eric Sachs is actually, I'm gonna say, interesting character. The actor, William Fichtner, I really like him. I've seen him in some stuff like in Prison Break. I thought he was cool back then.
In the Dark Knight too,
He's a good-
remember? He was the bank guy against the Joker in the Dark Knight
yeah,
movie.
right. Yeah. Who came after them with the shotgun, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, good memory.
Yeah. He's a good actor. He's good. He's also good in the movie. But yeah, you get the feeling. You get the feeling that he's not the character he was supposed to be. There's something missing there, and that is the part of the Shredder. It, I mean, yeah, it would have been weird if he would have been the Shredder, but you feel it that there's more behind him. But the whole thing with there's this big figure out in the open who's like, I'm a big boss of $1 million company, and but in background he's a bad guy. I think that's interesting, and you could have made more with it. But yeah, it, once again, what we got is fine in my opinion. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's still worth the watch, Turtle fan. I feel there are worse creations of the Ninja Turtles. Not that anything's bad, but just in my own like rankings, these aren't the worst turtles. Have you ever played? Just a quick question: have you ever played the video game that was based off this movie on the 3DS? I think it was, or the DS.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was 3D,
It's
as if I remember correctly.
yeah,
Yeah, I've played it, and it was cool. Yeah, I think it was
yeah.
good.
So do
It
I.
was fun.
I mean,
But you gotta say, in the game, Eric Sachs is the Shredder. So
yes.
they're like I mean, they got the script early, so you know how it is with the production of a video game. It takes some time, so it does not fit into the canon. But overall, the game was fun. It got some RPG elements. It's like this dungeon crawler style turtles, so it's a little bit different from what we usually get. And I thought it was a cool and entertaining game. I liked it.
Yeah, and you also get it. I want to say Slash and the Rat King were both in there. I think the way Michael
Yeah.
Bay does movies, I think he could have made a really cool Slash. Not with this alien type thing. I think Slash could have been a great addition to this movie. And even if they just had a quick run with the Rat King at the bottom, I mean, Splinter was okay in this movie too. Wasn't the best, but wasn't the worst. How'd you like the action scenes? That's what I wanted to ask about. We've seen the good stuff in the 1990s movie. We've seen it good in the early, cartoon and in the 2003 series. How'd you like the action in this one?
I gotta say, the action was actually pretty cool. Just remember the scene, like when Shredder and the Foot Clan invade the Turtles' lair, and Shredder and Splinter they have this big fight. I always thought it was pretty brutal, a pretty brutal fight when Shredder takes down Splinter, throws him around. It was pretty hard, and of course the biggest. The biggest action piece in the movie is when the turtles they have this fight where they're sliding down the mountain in the snow, and the trucks are everywhere and shooting at them. The turtles fight, and that's really a cool action scene. I gotta say, I always enjoy it, and yeah, it got some good action. I mean, yeah, of course, it's a lot of CGI in there,
Yes.
but I think, especially the whole thing with the sliding down the mountain scene, that's a really good action scene. That's a really cool scene, and that one I always enjoy. And yeah, also the fight scenes, like the big fight with Shredder in the end on top of the top of the building. Also pretty cool, pretty good, pretty entertaining. Um, it works. It works for the movie.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, the Buck scene was kind of weird, but besides that, but I had to do something, I guess, for the kiddies. What else? The Raphael kind of bandana look didn't really vibe with me too well with or like maybe they call some sort of rag on his head. I didn't really care for that, but like I said, the designs of the turtles were good. I like that they had them pretty much underground. They kept that true to their word. They weren't like out talking to everybody. We'll get to that in the second movie. We understand it's different than the second movie, but at least in this one, it was okay. And I guess before we finish this movie, everybody's favorite scene, and even I thought this one was okay. I think the scene that stands out to everybody is the elevator scene. So, what were your thoughts when you first saw that, where they had their little music note with MC Mikey?
You would, yeah, yeah, yeah. You would, yeah, you could. This is one of the scenes. You could take it out and you wouldn't miss anything about the story. But I really enjoy the scene. I really like the scene. I'm really glad that it's in the movie because it shows like this brotherhood between the turtles when they're like just vibing with each other. This is such an entertaining scene. I really love it. I laugh out loud when I see it because it's just so fun. Mikey fooling around, making some music, and all the turtles start vibing with him. It's a great scene. They even had like a parody scene of this in the 2012 series, if you
Oh
maybe
wow.
remember,
Ooh,
because there was a scene back then when the turtles also were in an elevator. I cannot say which episode it was right
sure.
off the top of my head, but there's also the scene where turtles in an elevator and Mikey also starts clanking his nunchucks together, start to make some music, ding ding ding, and Raph smacks him in the head like, "Stop it!"
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I enjoy this. I might have to actually watch it sometime this summer, just because we're talking about it. It's been a minute since I've seen it, but I've seen it a couple times where it's in my memory banks. And we do have to point out one final note that for those who may not know, there's a deleted scene that was supposed to be in the movie, but it never made it, and it was Judith Hogue actually talking to Megan Fox's April. What did you think about that spot, if you remember that?
Oh, but that was in the second movie.
Oh, it's in the second movie? Okay. We'll jump in.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then there we go. Let's get into the second movie. I don't believe there's, unless there's any other thoughts you'd like to talk about in this first one.
No, I think
I think we covered it all, right?
we covered it well. Yeah, yeah.
And we also had Johnny Knoxville as Leonardo. I thought was pretty cool too. I always liked him in the Jackass show, so I guess that's the other last notion I could put for the
Yeah.
American movie.
But I never understood why it was Leonardo. Why he was Leonardo. I never understood it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it worked. It worked. He was fine. He was fine. But Johnny Knoxville, Leonardo, there's not really connection there, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
right. Oh, and I guess one other thing is now I don't know if you're a big fan of Will or not, but I love that guy. I think he's hilarious in the Lego Batman movie. He's got a lot of
Oh
other
yeah.
funny movies, and it almost was not a waste, but just he could have been a lot better in that movie. I think if you because he didn't really act like the coward Vernon was in the old cartoon. And I think even Raph calls him like, yeah, you're a huge nerd. And he's like, I've never been called a nerd my entire life. I like that line, but he didn't really get that many lines. I mean, he was okay with April and trying to crush on her too, but the age gap there looked kind of weird too when he was trying to talk to her. But did you like Will Arnett in the movie at least? I mean, like I said, I like him as an actor. I think they could have done a little bit better with Vernon, like give him a little bit more of a comedic role.
Yeah. Hey, I always enjoy Will Arnett, seeing him, as I said, like in Lego Batman or on the animated show BoJack Horseman. He was
Yeah.
fantastic there. I love
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Um,
Arrested
and yeah, he
Development. He's
was.
got a good resume. Arrested Development. I think he was a big character in that show too.
Yeah. And I thought he was also really good in that movie. He was a completely different Vernon that the one we were used to from a cartoon show. As you said, he was not a coward or anything. He was there in the action. I mean, he was not a big action star, but he did his best. He was fine. But yeah, as you said, he could have done more. He could have given more to work with, like more funny lines or anything. But I enjoyed him as always. I enjoy him on whenever I see him in a movie or a TV show. He's cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, at the end of the day, maybe if they just didn't call him Vern and just called him something else, it would have been a lot better too, in my opinion. Then we wouldn't have, because the OG fans were thinking, at least most of us were probably expecting him to be a little bit of a wimp or a wuss, but he wasn't. So, anyways, the movie must have been a
Yeah.
success because we get a second one. Now, this one is kind of like the old cartoon because you get so many characters. You get a lot of more, I guess, good actors too. You have, Tyler Perry playing Baxter Stockman. You have Sheamus, the WWF WWE wrestler, playing Rocksteady. You have Brandon Garrett, I believe is his name. I may have botched it, but he's the voice of Krang from Everybody Loves Raymond. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about this movie. Were you expecting them to have a sequel? I guess just as a Turtle fan, were you expecting one?
Yeah, I remember that pretty soon after the first movie came out, they announced that there will be a sequel, and yeah, I was happy with that. And in my opinion, with the second movie, they really found their groove. In the first movie, as we said, it got some problems. It didn't really know what it was supposed to be, like some parts of the comic, some parts of the cartoon, and they mashed it together. And with the second movie, Out of the Shadows, in my opinion, is really a straight up cartoon movie. It's a straight up like a remake of the classic cartoon. We got Bebop and Rocksteady, we got Krang, we got Casey Jones in it, we got Baxter Stockman in it. They threw everything in it and they went with it. They really they had like a live action cartoon. There wasn't much from the comics in there. They really went straight to the OG cartoon and made a movie out of it. And in my opinion, that worked. I am
Yes.
a big fan of Bebop and Rocksteady. In my opinion, Out of the Shadows is the better movie because it's really it knows what it is. Bebop and Rocksteady in the movie, they are fantastic. The two actors who play them, as you said, Seamus and who's that other one called? Anthony Williams, if I remember correctly.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, they had such good chemistry with each other. I loved them. Um, Shredder is also like Eric Sachs is out of the picture. He's not even mentioned in the
Yes.
movie. So we got straight up Shredder, and we got Baxter Stockman, as you said, played by Tyler Berry, who was really good. He's not the Baxter like we got in most iterations, who is like this arrogant, like he's better than everyone. Here he was more, I gotta say, more like the
Like,
cartoon Baxter Stockman,
yeah. Almost like a Steve
a
Urkel in
bit
Family
nerdy.
Matters. Yeah, like a Steve Urkel
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Family
yeah,
Matters. It's kind of the best way to describe it, I think.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
All
You
right.
got it right.
So
Yeah.
can you give us a quick little background on how this movie went for those who have never seen it before?
Well, this movie starts with the Turtles, with the help of April, finding out that Shredder, who was apparently arrested in the last movie, um, the Foot Clan tries to, yeah, break him out of jail, and they've got this transport there, and the Turtles have a fight with the Foot Clan, but in the end, the Foot Clan is able to jailbreak Shredder, but he gets thrown through a portal that Baxter Stockman, who is now working for the Shredder, created. And this portal transports him to another dimension where we meet Krang. And Krang says that he wants to come to Earth and he wants to work together with the Shredder, but he needs some pieces from his like teleportation device that are like some other places in the world. And so, yeah, Krang and Shredder, they work together. It's funny that in this movie we see a scene where Shredder and Krang met, something that we never got in the original cartoon. We never
Yeah,
found out how they met.
right.
Um, yeah, and so Shredder, with the help of Baxter, creates his own mutants, Bebop and Rocksteady, to help him. And so they try to find these pieces of the teleportation device. Of course, the turtles try to stop him. And there's this new guy, Casey Jones, comes in, who is like a police officer who is vigilante at night. And they work together to fight Shredder, Bebop, Rocksteady. But in the end, they get all the pieces and they create a portal that brings the Technodrome to Earth. And yeah, the turtles then have to fight Krang to stop the Technodrome from completing. They are able to do so. They send Krang back to his own dimension. And yeah, well, in the end, the police force of New York, they find out that the turtles exist and they are accepted. They're like, cool, we can work together, turtles. And yeah, with this, pretty much the movie ends. Shredder, Krang, they are gone. And yeah, that's pretty much the
Yeah.
story, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a very, very nice detail, quick little split there. So, I thought the fights with Bebop and Rocksteady were great as well. We had Michelle Ivy on for our first ever podcast, and she even bragged about how good Bebop and Rocksteady were in that movie. Everybody, most fans, I would say, love the portrayal of Bebop and Rocksteady because they're actually more like the IDW comics, in my opinion. You know, like how they're
Yeah,
not as
yeah.
dim-witted. They actually are just like, hey, I'm just a cool big buff dude. I'm gonna knock you around. That's all. And that's what they are. They're just two fun characters.
Exactly, because they are well, they are pretty stupid, but they
Yeah.
are so strong and so scary, and that's a mix that I always enjoy. As you said, in the IDW comics, they are fantastic in this way.
Oh yeah, they are very well portrayed. Let's see here, just from my own little opinion, I never liked the way they did Michelangelo in this movie. I know, I guess he like wanted to be human, but just being a hardcore Michelangelo fan, he screws up so much in this movie. He drops pizza while they're watching a basketball game. He goes to like a masquerade costume ball and like joins like a outside costume party. So I had to get my little rant out there just because I'm not. This is probably my least favorite Mikey. I mean, I'll have to dig more into Rise and the next Mutation, the newer movie, but I just didn't like how he was portrayed. However, like we said, it was pretty cool seeing Krang finally come onto the big screen since we never got him in the other movies. We'll have to talk more about the original trilogy, but was there a rumor with Professor Jordan Perry was supposed to be like either a Krang or an Utram? There was like talks about that, right? In the old movie, Secret of the Ooze?
Yeah, there were some rumors about that they had planned to do this like reveal in the end that he was actually an Utrom, but they thought that it would confuse the kids. Like, so he was Krang and he's evil, and they didn't want this, so they scrapped that idea.
Oh gosh, I think that would have been great. Like that could have been like an old
Oh
school like
yeah,
MCU Marvel cutscene. Because remember, you see Perry
oh
walk
yeah,
off, and then he comes back, and he just like shows himself, and he's in the I guess the TGRI building instead of TCRI in the comics. And
yeah.
oh yeah, that would have game. I mean, as kids, that would have been great. But yeah, to wrap up this, I didn't mind it at all. I had fun watching this one when I saw it. I didn't get to go to a screening, but I still had fun watching this at the theater. I went to see it opening day. Um, I don't think anybody left the theater like booing. I think everybody enjoyed it for what it is. I mean, we know it wasn't going to be like an instant classic, but decent fight scenes. Casey Jones's actor, I thought, did a good job. Megan Fox returned as April. I didn't mind her at all. She was a little bit more distinct. Will Arnett's back too, which is he's like the hero, and which I liked. He's a little bit funnier in this one. Remember, he gets like all these perks in this one, right?
Yeah, in this he's got actually some funny scenes where he can show off his comedic talent. As I said, he's like in the beginning we find out that he is uh, s- said to be the hero that defeated Shredder because the turtles they cannot be seen in public, and so he's playing off this like, yeah, I'm the big superstar, and he works with this really well. And he's got some very funny bits there, like when he's trying to sell his breath on eBay or something.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's got some stuff there. With Casey Jones, the actor is really good. Stephen Amell, he was the Green Arrow on the live action show. So in my opinion, perfect casting, vigilante to vigilante. Um, but his portrayal left something to be desired. I He was cool as Casey Jones, but he's in some scene he's got a little bit whiny. He's got this
Yeah.
like, I'm a police officer, and one day I'm gonna be a detective. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
um,
nothing like
yeah,
our
but I
original
think
friend. But yeah, he did okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah, and honestly, I think if we would have gotten a third movie, I think this is like just the start of his origin story. Like in the next movie, I think he would have been a full-on vigilante, in my opinion. Then we would see the Casey Jones that we know and love more. But we will never find out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I never did get a third one. This one didn't. I don't think it did as well as the first one in the movie theaters. I guess,
No.
yeah, right, income wise. So, yeah, that was it. Anything else you want to talk about here? I do want to talk about that Judith Hogue ending cut, deleted scene. I thought that was pretty wild to see her in that.
Yeah, that we got on the like on DVD and Blu-ray,
Yeah,
this cut scene. I mean, I understand why they cut it because it does nothing for the story, but I really liked it. It was fantastic to see Judith Hogue back on the screen from one generation of April to another generation of April, and I really liked this. Like, yeah, she was like, what was she like her new boss on the TV station, and I really liked the way she's like, yeah, April, I'm just like you. And like, wink, wink.
yeah.
This, I really enjoyed it. I would have loved to seen her back on the screen. I mean, honestly, still my fingers are crossed that when we get a live action Last Ronin movie, that she will come back as an elder April. That would be fantastic. I would love that. I would cry tears of joy if she comes back as April one way or another.
Oh gosh, we've seen it so many times already. Tobey Maguire coming back as Spider-Man. All the Michael Keaton came back for his Batman role for a little bit in the Flash movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not? Why not? I know there's been talks about it. I think that would be fantastic. Anything else you want to mention about this movie? I think we either the whole Michael Bay franchise as a whole as we wrap up this episode here.
Yeah, honestly, as I said, with the second movie, they found their groove, and to be honest, I would really like to see what they would have done with the third movie. I think with the third movie, like finale of a trilogy, they would have really got all out with it. I think Krang would have come back, and I think like an alien invasion style, like with Triceratons or something like this, neutrinos. I don't know. Throw everything in there. I think it would have been really cool. Stone Warriors. Can you imagine a live action Stone Warriors? Hey, how awesome would that be? I would be there for it, but well, we will never find out. As I said, the movie wasn't as successful, so they scrapped any ideas for a third movie. Um, but for what it is, I enjoy this movie. I enjoy both of these movies. Yeah, especially the first one has its problems, but in my opinion, you can really enjoy them and just have fun with it. And yeah, these are different turtles, but these are still turtles. So, hey, that's fine in my book.
Oh gosh, you really planted a seed there if they were going to do a third movie. Because yes, Krang comes back, he's got his Stone Warriors, and the way Michael Bay likes having these things, imagine some giant mousers with Baxter coming around. You could have more mutants like Rat King and Leatherhead popping around. You could have Rat King wasn't a mutant, but Leatherhead, Slash, like how they had in the video game. Just, oh yeah, they could have just been like a crazy all-out like mutant war. Maybe a Mondo Gecko appears, maybe the Punk Frogs. Like you said, they could have just thrown everything in there. So I am a little depressed. I think you're right. After doing this podcast with you, I just, I'm like, gosh, what could it have been? A third Michael Bay movie. Well, if you guys have anything that you want to let us know, feel free to let us know in a comment down below on YouTube. But Christian, before we let you go, where can people find over 500 episodes of Ninja Turtle podcast greatness?
Oh yeah. So 500 German episodes and over 200 English episodes. So I guess there's something for everyone. Yeah. My podcast, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Talk. You can find me on pretty much everywhere. You find me on Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. Or just go to my website, tmnttalk.com. You find everything there. Yeah, just come over, have fun.
All right, perfect, man. Well, Christian, we hope to have you on again real soon, and thanks so much for your time. And we'll be back hopefully with you soon, my man. Thanks again.
As always, it's been a pleasure. Cowabunga, my dude.